Hello everybody, thank you for joining us for another episode of On Charge, where we will be looking back at the Valencia E-Prix with Robin Frijns and Nick Cassidy. First of all, Robin, Formula E on a permanent racetrack. What do you think of that?
I prefer the street tracks. I think the permanent tracks, especially Valencia, where you had a lot of run-off areas in turn 1, etc. It was quite easy to go off, and we had this track limits, and it's just not, if you do the lap in quali, it doesn't give you the same satisfaction that you do a good lap, because the wall is always the limits for us, and there wasn't any, except like turn 6 and 9 and 10. But yeah, I would prefer the street tracks again.
So Saturday race, the first, 90% of it, you were both flying through the field.
I felt really strong in the car.
Yeah.
In the wet, and I was moving forward nicely. I think on energy wise I was okay. Nick was a bit stronger on energy, but then the last 3 laps was a bit of a mayhem.
So where were you coming into those last 3 laps? What?
I was P5.
Yeah.
In the last safety car.
P6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we both had our last attack still activated, and everyone else had finished theirs. So, and we're both coming, right?
Yeah, we were coming.
So the end was looking really strong with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had more energy in the cars in front.
With attack mode.
With attack mode.
And more pace.
Yeah, I was behind Roland. I closed the gap to Roland, and then the safety car came out.
Right.
So I think if there was no safety car, was maybe a podium in it, but you never know afterwards anyway.
But good points, whatever.
Yeah.
And you still ended up with good points, right? At the end of Saturday. So it wasn't like a disaster at the end of the race, but for some teams it was. When were you guys aware of like the chaos that was going on? Because some drivers I spoke to, right, after the race, there was one driver, I won't say who it was, but he came across the line like, flat out, and everyone else started slowing around him. And he went, "This is amazing. Everyone else has got problems. I'm going to get a podium here."
No way.
Yeah. He was like buzzing. He was absolutely buzzing. Yeah, and then he did like turn 1 and turn 2, and then the car stopped. He was like,
I know exactly who you're talking
about. So he was like, "Oh, happy days." So yeah, when did you guys?
$5 if you say his name.
Nah, it feels like it was because you wouldn't want some of our off-the-record conversations. You wouldn't want me to say it on the telly.
I don't want to give you $5 either. So
okay, fine, it's a deal. But so when were you guys aware of what?
Well, I couldn't really believe it, because I started, I think it was the second to last lap.
Yeah.
And
when they went green again with 2 laps to go. Yeah,
exactly. And then we got the reduction just before the chicane.
Yeah.
So I started the second last lap, and the car was telling me like basically what we are doing on energy, and it was super early. So I was like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I think that puts it into perspective, under safety car, you kind of know where everyone's at on energy. So you hear, all right, you're a little bit up on this guy, you're a little bit up on this guy.
Yeah.
And I think the top guy was probably De Vries.
Yeah.
Then myself, then Robin.
Yeah.
Out of that top 8, 9 guys.
Yeah.
And when you get the energy reduction and you see, okay, I've now really got to save to make the finish of the race. We're P5 and 6, but the front 4 kept going for it.
They just went, yeah.
And so
it's
difficult for us to then trust what we're being told if they're just going for it, because you're thinking, hang on, we've got more energy than them and they are still flat out. How's this working?
So
right?
did you two start backing off at the start of the second to last lap? That was when you were like,
well, I know,
because like you say, many did 1 lap at full speed, and then the last lap,
there's like
5 minutes.
Different factors, because I was just in front of Nick.
Yeah.
There was a lot of spray on that main straight.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I would listen to the car and back off super early, he wouldn't see me.
Yeah.
Maybe he would have crashed into me. As you also don't want. So I was already lifting early, and I was looking in my mirrors like, hopefully he sees me.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, there are 4 other cars overtaking me.
Yeah.
Into turn 1, and by the time you are on turn 3, they're stopped. So then like, there was definitely the right call to make.
Yeah. Okay, so it sounds you guys overall, Virgin seemed maybe the most, maybe apart from Mercedes, the most on top of it really.
Well, yeah, I think the other guys, they could have easily been on top of it, but they had such little energy left.
Yeah.
They had to
Yeah,
back off like crazy, and it's obviously difficult to kind of realize that that's the situation. Sometimes you don't know whether to believe it or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think ultimately it changed the end result so much for us. Or maybe the positions were switched around. I mean, Robin was ahead of me until that point, but it certainly made it a much more exciting.
So did you overtake him?
In the last lap, 2 laps
yeah,
to go, maybe.
2 laps to go, yeah.
2 laps to
Because I had a little less energy than Nick,
Okay.
so I coasted much earlier. And the difference if you have this energy reduction with 2 laps to go, it's huge.
Yeah.
So the difference was big.
So yeah, like 2 laps from the start of the race, I knew that was coming, you know, so I was just kind of backing off.
Sure.
And were they stressful last 2 laps? Like how did it? Because you're not racing like normal, right?
I think the guys, it's the first time I've actually heard the team more stressed than me on the radio.
Same.
Really?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, they're really, really stressed. And follow the car, relax. And I'm like, I'm relaxed, dude. But
Yeah.
it was...
Yeah, I said on the radio, like, relax, man, chill out, I got this.
Yeah, exactly, similar.
Yeah.
So overall, a reasonable day on.
Considering where we were in free practice and how we started the day, it was very good points.
Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us as ever. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us as ever. It's been great to have your one more. Okay.
You're not going to cut that out, are you?
No, I don't think they are.
For sure not.